Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of Digital Dialogue with Maritime Gateway. Today we have with us as guest Mr. Arun Kumar Gupta, Managing Director of India Ports Global Limited. Mr. Arun Kumar Gupta has 40 years of experience in shipping sector, leading and managing several challenging projects in various divisions of the Shipping Corporation of India. In 2014, he took charge as Chairman and Managing Director of Shipping Corporation of India, and in 2016, when he retired, Ministry of Shipping appointed him as the Managing Director of India Ports Global Limited. Now, India Ports Global Limited is owned by Sagarmala Development Company, which is a government initiative that makes IP Global as a PSU, and IP Global is mandated to develop ports overseas. Now, welcome to this show, Mr. Arun Kumar Gupta. Now, Chabar Port was inaugurated, the first phase of it, in 2017. Can you briefly give us an insight into what is the status of that port and currently what is happening at the port?
In December 2017, phase 1 of Chabar port was inaugurated. Here also, let me clarify, Chabar has got two ports. Chabar is a city, it has got two ports, Shahid Baheshti and Shahid Kalantri. Shahid Kalantri is an old port having a draft of about 7 to 8 meters, where usually dhows go, passenger vessels go there, and small container feeder vessels. But Shahid Baheshti port, that has got big development plans. The development plans run into 4 phases. So the first phase was inaugurated, as you rightly said, in December 2017. India was always interested in Chabar port, in this port. It is very strategic. It is outside Hormuz Strait. It is the only oceanic port of Iran, and it has a draft of 16 meters. So India signed an agreement with Iran in May 2016 when Prime Minister Modi went there. This was preceded by an MOU which was signed in May 2015 when then Shipping Minister Mr. Nitin Gadkari traveled to Tehran. Now, we have taken over operations at this Shahid Baheshti port of Chabar from December 2018. Our mandate is, yes, as you rightly said, development and operations. Now, in development, there are two elements. One is the ongoing development of Shahid Baheshti port, which, as I said, is in 4 phases. So India is committed to give credit to Iran, credit loan or credit line of rupees 900 crore to Iran to use it for development of Chabar port. They can use it in any phase, whatever they want. So that is one commitment India has given. Second commitment, as far as development is concerned, India will equip the port with equipment worth $85 million. So these are the two commitments from Indian side for Shahid Baheshti port of Chabar. All the marine infrastructure, pilotage, dredging if required, marine crafts, all these will be handled by the Iranian side. We will look after the cargo operations and marketing. So that is our mandate. As you are aware, Iran is facing a lot of challenges, political challenges, and for some reasons, this 10-year contract, operation, lease contract, has got some difficulties, challenges. So both the countries kept these challenges aside while we deal with these challenges. We have started operations at Shahid Baheshti port of Chabar from December 2018. And As of date, we have completed more than 18 months of handling the port. It has been a very incident-free and smooth operations. Any port has a gestation period, so Chabad is no exception. We are having some teething problems, but by and large, I see a very bright future for Chabad in years to come. Let me tell you, in another 5 years, Chabad will be the third largest port of Iran.
Excellent, sir. See, this is, as you mentioned, almost a 3-decade dream for India to develop this port in Iran and handling. And in spite of all the challenges, as you mentioned, even US has sanctions against Iran. I'm informed that this particular port was exempted in writing for all the equipment or whatever is required for this port. That's a good achievement, and congratulations that this port has become operational under your stewardship. Now, tell me, this port, as I understand, is a gateway to West Asia and Central Asia, especially for cargo movement. How India can take leverage in terms of cargo? How can it help Indian exporters or importers? And what kind of cargoes can move through this port?
See, Chabad is in Arabian Sea or Sea of Oman, and distance between Mundra port or Kandla port to Chabad is barely 550 nautical miles. That is, a container ship will take maximum 2 days or even less. Even JNPT is about 780 nautical miles. So proximity to west coast of India, being outside Gulf of Hormuz, free from any possible blockades, etc. So Chabad is very strategic and very significant for us. Now, you must have heard of International North-South Corridor.
That's right, yes.
That was established with Bandar Abbas in mind, all cargo from India going to Bandar Abbas and then going north to Caspian Sea and then to CIS countries. As I said in our INSTC meetings, it is already recognized that Chabad will be the eastern arm of INSTC corridor. Cargo from west coast of India will come to Chabad, and from Chabad it will go to CIS countries. You must have heard lately, Honorable Minister Mr. Mandavia announced that there is a saving of about 20% in the logistic cost. Apart from CIS countries, we are also focusing on Afghanistan. Afghanistan, as you know, is a landlocked country. India and Afghanistan have been very close in the past, and we are committed to support our neighbor. Afghanistan is dependent on Karachi for its as a seaport. However, they are more comfortable with Chabad. So we want to use Chabad as a gateway for even Afghanistan. India has made a lot of infrastructure in Afghanistan. We have made a road connecting the Iran-Afghan border to the internal ring road, where all the four countries, all the four cities, major cities of Afghanistan are connected. So Afghanistan is also very much there in our mind.
What are the landside infrastructure facilities that we have at the port?
Landside infrastructure in phase 1, we have a waterfront of about 1400 meters. I would say about 700 meters will have a draft of 16 meters and the balance will have a draft of 14 meters. So the 16 meters one is where we are having the container terminal. We can accommodate post-Panamax vessels and bulk vessels, Capesize, etc. can come behind where the draft is about 14 meters. So we have a backup area of about 70 hectares and there is no issue of space, etc. Yes, I confess, as far as port equipment is concerned, we are having difficulties in getting the STS cranes.
Okay.
And that again, despite America having exempted the port, the suppliers are still reluctant. Anyway, we are working on it. Having said that, we have new mobile harbor cranes, we fit spreaders, and with the present traffic, the productivity is no issue. The feeder vessels are coming and we finish cargo within 6 to 7 hours.
And how is the connectivity part of it, sir?
Now, connectivity is two things. At present, it is the road connectivity only. If the cargo is going to Afghanistan, it goes to the border city of Zaidan. Zaidan is in Iran, where all the three borders are very close. Pakistan border, Afghanistan border, and the Iran. All three are absolutely close. So this is about 660 kilometers from Chabar. Well, the distance can be covered in a day, but trucks usually take 1.5 days. I have traveled this on this route. The roads are very good. Roads are very good. And Afghan cargo goes to Millak border, and from Millak border, it is connected to all the 4 major cities of Kabul.
Okay.
As far as import cargo of Iran is concerned, some cargo goes to the free zone. Chabar has got a free zone. There, some value addition is done, and then it goes out for distribution. And cargo which is not destined for the free zone, again, at present, rail connectivity is not there. You must have heard in the news that railway tracks just commenced laying down of railway tracks, Chabar to Zaidan. All the groundwork has been done. Superstructure work of laying the tracks has just started. So I think rail connectivity will take another 2 years to come.
Okay. There is a free trade warehousing zone is also coming up in the port, I believe.
Yes, initially the port was outside the free zone. But now, very lately, the port has been included in the free zone. So all the benefits of free zone will be available in the port itself.
You must have seen the commodity profile of these CIS countries or Afghanistan or India. So can you give me an insight into what kind of commodities can be exported or imported through this port so that it can benefit the Indian players?
We are handling all type of cargos. First, let me talk about bulk cargo. I forgot to tell you that we have pneumatic unloaders, 3 pneumatic unloaders. And Iran imports lot of grain, wheat, barley, maize, corn, and all this is discharged not by grabs. We have grabs, but we have pneumatic unloaders. So this is one type of cargo which is coming. Earlier, Iran had somehow earmarked Bandar Abbas as the container port and Bandar Imam Khomeini as the bulk port. But now, this is again very strategic for Iran. Some for their supplies, etc. It is outside Gulf of Hormuz. So we are getting lot of bulk cargo. So this is one type of cargo what we get. We also get livestock vessels, especially before Nowruz. Or then let me come to the container trade. Container trade is a mixed thing. Again, bagged rice is one component which comes even in containerized or in pellet forms. We are getting cargo, transshipment cargo from Jabal Ali. Iran imports lot of home appliances, but predominantly from India, it is soya bean and rice. Exports from Iran is not much. It is one-way trade, let me tell you. But from Afghanistan, we are getting cargo, refrigerated cargo, basically dried fruits, etc. And in fact, tomorrow there will be 4 containers loaded, which are coming from Afghanistan. They will be loaded tomorrow at Chabar, and they are destined for Tanjin, transshipment and Mundra. So all these are positive things. At present, we have not handled any cargo for CIS countries. We are in discussions with CONCOR. They wanted some discounts, etc., incentives. We are working out with our Iranian counterparts. But soon, I am confident our cargo to CIS countries will also start flowing.
In your initial remarks, you mentioned that in 5 years' time, this port will grow fast, and you also mentioned about Jebel Ali. I read somewhere that this port can be a good alternative to Jebel Ali, and also there a lot of dependency will come down on Jebel Ali. I would like to know your perspective on this.
It will be too premature to compare Chabahar to Jebel Ali at this stage. Huh?
Yeah, too premature, but in the long run, because of the strategic location that it has.
Absolutely. If all these impediments like sanctions, etc., are not there, I would give a timeline of 10 to 15 years. See, the development plan is for 4 phases. Tremendous. At present, in phase 1, the port capacity is 8 million tons per annum. And if all 4 phases are completed, then it will be around 50 to 60 million tons per annum. So potential is great, and I see a very bright future for Chabahar in future.
And you are getting the same kind of enthusiasm from Iranian counterpart as well, right?
Absolutely. Even they get money out of it. So they are also interested, and they are very pleasant to work with, very understanding. It's a very, I won't say smooth, but it's a pleasant interaction. I'm very comfortable with them. Anyway, I've got some little added advantage that I was in Irano-Hind Shipping Company earlier, and I've stayed in Iran for 3.5 years.
Oh.
So I know the people, I can understand their language, I can speak a bit. So I'm very comfortable in that country.
Did you see any impact because of this COVID-19 on your operations or on the movement?
Though Iran was quite severely affected by COVID, in the port operations there was no impact. We were taking due precautions, etc.
Sir, any other ports on the radar of IP Global?
See, it all depends on the government. We have examined many projects, but for them to materialize is an issue. That will take time.
Okay.
I will not like to dwell, because unless it reaches the final stage, like Paira Port in Bangladesh, East Coast Terminal in Sri Lanka, Sabang Port in Indonesia, we have examined. But it is all neighborhood and strategic nature. Then only IPGL has to be mandated by the government.
So any final comments to the Indian stakeholders on the port, sir?
My request is to all the stakeholders to promote Chabahar Port. Afghanistan should not depend on Gwadar Port or Karachi Port. We are assuring weekly service. We have had an agreement with the shipping line. We are compensating them. There will be a weekly container service. Discounts on terminal handling charges have already been worked out with the Iranian side. For any transit cargo, we will give 50% discount. So discounts and incentives is no problem. We just need support from all the stakeholders. As Prime Minister Modi said, let us become Atmanirbhar. It's your port in Iran.
On that note, sir, thank you very much. We wish you all the best. Under your leadership, the Chabahar port should grow soon to become a very important and key port. Thank you very much for joining us today and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you. It's an honor for me to be associated with Chabahar Port, first port venture of India overseas. Thank you, Mr. Rampasad.
Thank you very much, sir.